Yo guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I keep up with the latest AI news in the music space. So ElevenLabs basically is allowing producers and artists and creators to license their AI generated music. Yes. So let's watch this 24-second video.
The library. Introducing Music Marketplace in 11 Creative. Generate, publish, and monetize the tracks you create with 11 Music. Or browse the library and license music for social media, paid marketing, and live events. So start earning with your tracks today, only with 11 Creative.
Interesting. So it's like a layer that I never thought would exist. So it seems like what ElevenLabs is doing is instead of trying to sell to people to generate their own music, they still may not know the keywords or have the patience to sit there on Suno. I know it sounds lazy, but when you're not focused on the music, you just need music for your thing. The same way we're not focused on graphics. We don't care about gradient shades and shadows and the light reflections. We don't care that deeply all the time about different, disciplines in which we work, but we still use those media for our products. So for example, let's say I'm a restaurant owner and I have a little, little Instagram ad I want to put up, but I don't have any background music and I don't want the Facebook music that they give us by default. So I say, okay, I'm going to go to ElevenLabs, for example, and I'm going to generate some music. So I type in, okay, 1970s funk, but then it gives me some Rick James thing, or some, I meant to say, not Rick James, some James Brown thing. And then we type in, okay, that's not it. Then we type in 1970s black soul and it gives us something that's way different. They're like, why am I sitting here wasting time prompting when I could just basically go to a curated layer of humans to buy their taste and their curation and their skill set upon the AI layer. So this is opening up a layer that never existed before. And this is what I said about generative AI music. It's going to open up a market that just never existed. It's not competing for existing stuff. It's doing something in a whole new way. So the AI layer is your Sunos, your ElevenLabs, your Marikas, your samplers, whatever you guys use, your Google Lyrias. Okay. That's the AI layer of generation. On top of that layer, it seems like ElevenLabs is saying, hey, creators, come over here. Instead of us doing our own curation and trying to sell directly to business owners and people who don't really have the time to even sit and sift through a ton of music, we want to hire you guys or bring you on the platform and do a revenue share. And you guys can do the curation. So when people come to our website, there's already pre-made stuff that's in the vibe of somebody making an Instagram ad for a local New Orleans style restaurant. So now they don't have to try to figure out the keywords to unlock that sound for their brand. Now they could just go to pre-selected human curated AI. So we have the AI layer, then you have the human curation of AI. And that is interesting that they offered this as a revenue share with creators. My philosophy, my guess, and my gut tells me that they're doing this because they don't have the internal capacity to curate themselves. Because if you had the internal capacity to curate yourself, why would you need outside users to take revenue share if they're not driving traffic to the existing website? So my thought is that they're leveraging you guys to help curate. Now, who says in the future that they're going to keep this marketplace up with humans? It could be AI curated stuff for all we know. How do we know that a human's getting paid? This also, who knows the humans behind this? I don't know if it's actual humans behind this. So I think this is an opportunity for you guys who want to get into the AI space, because I think ElevenLabs is not deemed unethically trained, whatever, for the people who are worried about ethically trained and not ethically trained. So you guys have an opportunity now to use your skills on the ElevenLabs platform, make AI generated stuff, and then license the stuff like you would your beat. Okay. And you can license out to content creators. So instead of chasing artists all day, you can license your stuff out to people who are trying to make YouTube videos or a business trying to just quickly get the vibe for their restaurant ad, different things like that. So hopefully this is making sense. I can understand why there's a need for this. Again, if I'm a business owner, I don't have time to be going through 1,000 keywords to try to figure out the magical combination to get the one little small song I need for an Instagram ad, when the whole point of the ad is just to get people to my website. And I can understand why they don't prioritize that necessarily. That restaurant owner's going, okay, I got to be good at food, good at business operations, good at doing visual media, and you want me to be good at music? And they're going, no, I can't be good at everything. So I can see why there's a system like this, which is, again, an AI generation layer, but just because it can generate doesn't mean it's generating the right stuff. So it needs a curation layer, meaning it needs a human in the loop to say, okay, this is a good idea, this is a bad idea. Okay. And it seems like ElevenLabs is incentivizing you to curate, because what it's doing is maybe the people they have on their team aren't curating to the level they need to curate to catch up to Asuno. So they said, okay, we're going to pay creators to come on here. And if you sell your product on here, if you license your stuff on here, then we'll basically use that information to help sharpen our model. Because again, internally, if I could do this myself as ElevenLabs, I would go, why would I dilute my revenue with random people for no reason? They're definitely leveraging you guys as curation skills, okay? And the way they make you guys feel like it's yours is they say, here's our marketplace. You can, be incentivized with money that comes in if you sell. But who says, and I don't know the terms of agreement or anything like that, but who says the terms of service doesn't say, hey, any curation you make on our platform, we can use this information to basically train our model better. Meaning that you're doing the hard work. You're curating the AI model, which is the thing they need help with. You're doing that whether you sell or not. So it seems like they're pulling in people to incentivize them with money or potential money to get real curation, because a person who's putting something up for sale, they want to put up the best product. So they're going to give the best curation. Okay, so that's what I see. But, I'm just outside looking in. I'm not here to hate on ElevenLabs. I'm just telling you guys this exists and it's very interesting.
Introducing Music Marketplace in 11 Creative. Generate, publish, and monetize the tracks you create with 11 Music. Or browse the library and license music for social media.
Now, my question is, okay, we're using ElevenLabs to create songs, but then didn't we just get a ruling that said AI music can't be copyrighted? So how are we licensing something that can't be copyrighted? That's my initial gut feeling. How does that work? Is there human input? What is this 11 Creative? So let's go to the website. So here's the website. I'm at ElevenLabs.io. It says the AI creative platform to bring your content to life. So ElevenLabs was known for text to speech. Okay, so basically you could type in words and it would give you a human deliverance of somebody that sounded like a human. So on YouTube, if you guys ever listen to podcast or those storytelling videos where it's just a bunch of visuals, but it's this kind of robotic person talking, or a storyteller talking, voiceover, chances are it was ElevenLabs. Okay. Welcome to the dawn of time. Napoleon, one of those type of things. Okay, so that's ElevenLabs. So if we go to 11 Creative, firstly, there's a lot of stuff in here. So it's not very clear where that marketplace is. It's I don't even know where to look. Okay, so let's just click on where it says 11 Creative. So we're here. We're on 11 Creative. And where's the marketplace? All right, so I'm not seeing something that's obviously here it is. Okay, so definitely need a design approach here. All right, so it's not even clear where it is. I don't even know if it's out yet. Maybe it's not out yet. Maybe they're just doing that to get interest in this. But even if it is out, I don't even know which thing to click on. So for that reason, I got to say that this is not handled properly, in my opinion. Let me see, though. Let me see if I can find a link on Google. Okay, so I had to Google to even find this page. I don't even know how to get here. License legendary voices. So again, I'm not sure how to even get to this page, y'all. So that's not a good thing. Okay, so it says license. Now this is the marketplace, I think, for, let's read this. This might be a different product. It says license legendary voices. License AI voices of IP of history's most iconic figures for your creative projects. Request licensing for entertainment legends, sports heroes. So basically, this seems like people who want to sell their likeness, who are celebrities, may have done deals with ElevenLabs to have their vocal style in here. So that's, Dr. Maya Angelou. Let me see if I know these names. I don't know most of these names, but it seems like that's their goal, is to kind of build up a celebrity catalog and use their existing, use their existing users and database to monetize their vocals. For people who never got into voiceover, now you can basically get hired as a celebrity for your voiceover. Again, I haven't found the marketplace. So let me search one more time. One critique I have for these companies is when you have 8,000 menus, we have no idea where to go. This is very bad. I had to Google this 3 times to find the link for this. Okay, so that's a very bad sign. So they claim to have 11+ million paid out to creators in the voice marketplace. I guess that was the other page we found where, celebrities can use their voice in different things, or people gave their voice to the platform for other people to leverage. So I'm assuming that's just for voiceover material. That doesn't mean it's going to apply to AI music. However, I understand this is a new venture. This is a whole new market in general. So it's interesting. because it tries to approach sync licensing from an AI perspective through human curation. But the problem is we're fighting against people having the ability to generate their own music versus people who have the skill enough to curate the AI generations to create music other people might like for them. So I can see there is a market here. I'm not going to say it's a huge market, but it is a market here. So it says publish and earn your music. Okay, we get the gist of the concept. The main thing is, where is the link? Golly, this is impossible to find this thing. Your AI music generation toolkit. Okay, so maybe it's on the back end. So maybe I need to log in to access this page. So yeah, you guys, no luck, even on the back end. Okay, so it says introducing music marketplace. This is like the 8th page of going to trying to find this marketplace. If I don't find it on the next click. Okay, so apparently it's under music, and then there's a marketplace tab. That is extremely difficult to find. They need to put this on the home page or somewhere easy to find, because this took way too many searches to find. Okay, so we found it. It's in, once you log into your account, click on where it says music, go to where it says marketplace. Now, let me see what these buttons say. Save. Is this a download button? And then a retweet button, remix your own project. All right, so where is the marketplace exactly? Is this the marketplace? All right, so let's say I'm a person. Let's go to, okay, I'm a travel vlog. Let's go to travel. Let's go to mood. Let's go to relaxing. And what do I do to buy it? How do you buy? Okay, so I have 900 credits to generate, but how do we, let me just click download. I just want to see what it does. Okay, so when you click download, it says upgrade to use the music marketplace. So basically you have to have a subscription per month to use a marketplace. They're turning it into a subscription model. My thing is, man, I have so many concerns about this business model. So my thing is, okay, I sign up to the marketplace, which, let's put it this way, guys. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm not here to bash ElevenLabs, but I got to be honest with the people. Is this, okay, you're giving ElevenLabs your curation skill, which you train your entire life to do, for potentially the platform using your curation skill to then train their models again to make them better, which they don't need you if you train it. They're not going to need you after that point. They could have their own AI creators, in the marketplace doing all the curation. Now, my thing is, however, this is the problem. So people go, they listen to the stuff in the marketplace. They go, okay, this is a fire, relaxing, what did we put? Relaxing travel vlog type beat that was AI generated. That, again, how do you own anything AI generated? You don't own it. That's okay. So we need to start there, really. But moving forward past that is to say, okay, so now they go to download the track, and then a pop-up pops up. To access this track, you got to sign up for $11 a month. My problem is, here's the problem, y'all. You got to listen closely to what I'm saying. Here's the problem. It probably costs the user a certain amount of credits to download the song. And you as a user are only going to get credited per the credits that the person uses. I assume. I doubt, and I don't know, if creators, because here's the thing. Joe Schmo, who owns a New Orleans restaurant. Okay, he goes, okay, I need some relaxing travel music for my new ad. He goes, okay, this A-side morning in Japan is fire. I'm going to download it. Boom, I hit download. I get hit with this upsell here. Now, the problem is very nuanced, so I need you guys to pay really close attention. Joe Schmo is going to buy an $11 a month or even a starter pack at $5 a month. Let's say he buys the $5 a month even, and he gets 30,000 credits every single month. That sounds cool. But the thing is, the person who made the song, chances are, and I don't know because I did not read the terms of service yet, chances are they're compensated by the credits used. So listen to what I'm saying. Joe Schmo buys 30,000 credits because he can't even download the song without the credits. So he buys 30,000 credits, but the person who made the song in Japan only gets credited for the amount of credits Joe Schmo spends on his specific song. Where'd the other $4.95 go to? So you're telling me the guy who made the Japanese song just created a new user that's valued at least $5 for ElevenLabs, but they only get credited for the credits that are potentially used on their song, which could be worth 5 cents. I don't know the exact price. So you're saying, where'd the other $4.95 go? That's the problem that I have, is because you're not truly being compensated for the people who are signing up for the service. You're only being compensated for the credits being used. This is the same issue that happens when, this is kind of hard to explain in a simple form, but basically you have a product, right? You go to a distributor, you say, hey, distributor, here's my product, it's worth $50. The distributor goes, okay, well, $50 is kind of high in price. What if we bundle you with everybody else in our pool of stuff, and then I just give you a cut of the bundle? And then you go, okay, wait, my thing is adding value to the bundle. People are buying the bundle only because of my thing, but I'm only getting a small piece of the pie because of the thing that basically brought everybody to the bundle in the first place. How does that make sense? That's the part that I have an issue with. I don't like this type of marketing. I don't like that type of creator split, because you're truly not doing a creator split. You're basically just using creators to get users for you. That's what you're doing, and you're not compensating them properly. Now, let me check their terms just to double check to make sure that that's how it works. All right, you guys, I asked Gemini the hard questions here. I said, give me split breakdown, and do they split the revenue earned when people sign up to their tiers, like the $5 tier we saw, the $10 tier we saw, or only when somebody spends credits or tokens? Okay, so this is from Gemini, okay? And it says, based on ElevenLabs official documentation for the new music marketplace, here's exactly how the split breakdown and revenue system works. The split breakdown, it says starting rate. Now, this is the good number. They say, oh, we're giving you 25%. You think of the whole thing, but that's not true. Starting rate, creators earn a starting split of 25% of the purchase price every time someone buys a license for their published track. So first of all, you're telling me I have to create an account to be on ElevenLabs. I don't even know if you have to have a paid account to make music for ElevenLabs. I'm not sure, for the music creator marketplace. So how does that work? Do I have to have a paid account to make music for the marketplace? I should double check that. Then on top of that, not only are you giving them your curation skill, which is your entire life wisdom around what sounds good and how to make music sound good. So you're giving that basically for free for 25%. So they're taking 75% of a license that wouldn't exist if you didn't curate it. Okay. So creators earn a starting split of 25%. Because why? Because they have to ladder you up. You could potentially earn 80%, right? Because it makes it sound like you're earning a ton of money. Creators earn a starting split of 25% of the purchase price every time someone buys a license for their published track. Then it says scaling. Okay. It says this split is not permanently capped, meaning you can earn more than 25%. ElevenLabs states that this percentage will increase for active users over time, rewarding creators who consistently publish and perform well on the platform. Why? Because they have to keep leading you with the carrot to keep curating their model so that they can get better and better music. The reason I stopped using ElevenLabs, or never started really, it sounded clear, but it just sounded like random ideas. So they need a curation layer. They need let me give you guys the value of what you're giving to this company for pennies. Okay. Curation in the world of Claude Code is the entirety of the value of modern solutions. Curation. Like anybody can ask Claude Code, hey, Claude Code, make me a dashboard for my YouTube analytics. But pros go, okay, I need a dashboard for the CAC, the cost per acquisition. I need a dashboard with the LTV. I need a cost per the churn rate. They know all the keywords to fine tune that dashboard and make it curated so that it actually leads to solutions. Whereas anybody could just say, make me a dashboard. It might not have everything on it. So what you guys are giving over is your actual expertise, and they make it seem like you're getting so much in return. But truthfully, are you? This is the questions that I have. And this is what kind of pisses me off, because you guys are creating so much value. And for a company that's focused on, the ethical quote unquote approach to AI music, this seems very it just seems very strange. It says scaling. This split is not permanently capped. ElevenLabs states that this percentage will increase for active users over time, rewarding creators who consistently publish and perform well on the platform. And it says how the revenue is sourced. Here is the key. I need you guys to pay attention during this part. Okay. It says how the revenue is sourced. Subscription versus direct spend. Remember, I told you in order for people to even access the marketplace, you have to sign up for a subscription. And I said, do the creators get a percentage of the subscription that they're making people sign up for, basically? Okay, so it says they do not split general subscription revenue. Let me say that one more time. They do not split general subscription revenue, which means, again, going back to my logic is, okay, you're this guy, Ano Views, okay? You sell me on a seaside morning in Japan, and I go, you know what? I'm going to download this, and I go to download it, and I'd have to sign up for $5 a month. I just signed up because this person has something that I want. So I'm signing up to get that thing. Okay. Now this person gets credited 25% of the transaction of the tokens used, whatever that equals. I don't know what that equals on the back end. Okay. But they're not getting credited the other $4.95. Where'd that go to? That's the question. Okay. Where did the other $4 and something go to? If this person made this person sign up for a subscription, why isn't he being compensated for getting the person to sign up? That's the problem that I have with these systems. Okay. And it says how the revenue is sourced. They do not split general subscription revenue. ElevenLabs does not operate on a streaming style pro rata model like Spotify or Apple Music, where the overall pool of monthly $5, $11.22 money is divided up amongst all creators. Instead, your payouts are strictly, excuse me, let me read this slowly. Instead, your payouts are strictly transactional based on direct purchases. Here's how it works. You only earn money when a user specifically decides to acquire a license, which we've gone through that process for your individual track. Your 25+% cut is taken directly from the purchase price of that specific transaction. So if it costs me, it doesn't say the amount of credits it costs, and I'm not going to sign up just to do that. So I assume it's not going to cost me all of my $5 a month to get this one track. So how many credits does it take to get this one track? Let me, oops, I didn't mean to play it. Let me see. There's no like page I can go to. Let me see if there's a, so because it doesn't give me that, like how many credits it takes, I'm going to have to ask Gemini, how many credits on average in this marketplace does it cost a user to download a track? Because I can't, there's no easy way for me to access this. Usually on Splice, they'll tell you, hey, this thing is 30 credits. This thing is 10 credits. This doesn't tell you at all. So they make you sign up to even see how much it costs, which is also a little sketcy in my opinion, because now this person doesn't even know their own value. Like, no, why would you guys, come on, y'all, use your brain. Okay, let's go back to Gemini. And it says currently ElevenLabs has not published a flat average credit cost for downloading tracks in the new music marketplace. Instead, a single fixed number of credits. The purchase price is dynamic. When a user goes to download the track, the cost in credits is determined by the usage type they select. So let's see if I can go from the other point of view, which is the person putting up the music. Wow, you guys, I went to the music marketplace. This is such a finesse. No, I'm going to say big no. Big N to the O, y'all. No, 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 no. I've not been this furious about an AI company in a long time. You go to the music tab, you go to the marketplace, you go to where it says published, and it says upgrade to publish songs to the music marketplace. You're telling me I have to pay you monthly so that you take my curation, which is the value of the whole system of training AI music, is the curation. Training music on random music means nothing. You need to curate the music. So you're telling me not only am I super valuable to this equation, you're going to make me pay to be in the marketplace. And on top of that, they go to the marketplace and they're not even being credited for the people who sign up to the platform. That's a double finesse. They're finessing the people who are publishing to the platform, and they're finessing the people who are, well, I guess the person who submitted to the marketplace, because they're not getting the full value, okay, which is the actual recurring subscription. If they were doing, business like good business people, in my opinion, they would be, back in the day, they had all types of platforms where if you had somebody sign up to somebody else's program, you would get a percentage per month per lifetime until they canceled. That's good business. That's tying in the people who are actually creating the value for the system into equity. But you guys are not getting equity. You guys are getting these fantasy things. All right, so it says this is actually pissing me off a little bit. So it says currently ElevenLabs has not published a flat average cost, which we just saw. They make you pay to upload to the marketplace. Talk about a finesse. Holy moly. No. The music, if I see music producers on here, I'm just going to say, look, man, you're working backwards. All right, so let's see what else there is to read, because this is honestly terrible. Okay, you only earn money when a user specifically decides to acquire a license, social media, paid marketing, and offline for your individual track. Your 25% plus cut is taken directly from the purchase price of that specific transaction or credit spend. That's the finesse anyway. Simply having users sign up for ElevenLabs tiers because of your music does not generate a passive cut of their monthly fee. The transaction must happen on your specific asset. That is the finesse. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. ElevenLabs gets it on both sides. That is so not cool. Like, you make music creators pay to upload to the marketplace. And then on top of that, because I understand they want a curation layer to make sure people aren't just spamming AI tracks. I get it. But at the same time, that's crazy. And then on top of that, here's the two big problems, just to sum this video up. You have to pay to be in the marketplace. That's a finesse. Then on top of that, and it's per month. So you'd be like, oh, okay, maybe next month I'll get more customers. Maybe next month. 10 months go by, you spent a ton of money and got no customers. And then you got people who are in this marketplace. You go to download the song. People who aren't signed up are forced to pay per month. Okay, which means you're not getting compensated for this value. You're getting pennies on pennies on pennies, I assume, because there's no obvious like how much this thing cost in credits. And I wonder why they hid the credit cost, because they know they don't want you to figure this out. I assume. I'm making personal assumptions. Okay. That is not good, y'all. No. No. If you go to this platform willingly, just understand that you're literally you could be doing this for yourself. All right, y'all. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.